Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and turn that light on. This is Elijah, the one and only host of this here podcast, Faith, Family, and Football. And forgot to do this. Let's make this a little louder here. Think we need to. Maybe, maybe. Yes, yes, yes. How about right there? Right there sounds good. Okay. So, I wanted to switch things up here, and I'm going to do a prayer at the beginning and a prayer at the end of the podcast. The prayer at the end of the podcast will be the Lord's Prayer, and the prayer at the beginning will be a prayer that I think of the top of my head here. So let's bow our heads and pray. Dear Father, just thank you for this wonderful day you have presented us, Lord. Thank you for everything that you have given us, every opportunity, everything you've put in our way, every challenge you've given us to get closer to you, Lord. And thank you for each and every person that is able to sit here and watch this podcast unfold. Thank you for family. Thank you for friends. Thank you for work. Thank you for shelter. Thank you for food. Thank you for water. Thank you for everything, Lord. Thank you so much for allowing me to live, us to live, and to indulge your presence through our hearts, our minds, our spirits, our bodies, and through the Bible, Lord, and experiences throughout life, Lord. And I just thank you so much, Lord, in your name, Jesus. Amen. All right, so let's start off with the daily Bible verse today, and it is from Philippians chapter 4, verse 4. It says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. Always rejoice." And that'll take us to what is after reading Matthew chapter 16 here. And Matthew chapter 16 I have pulled up here. So y'all don't get blinded by my bald head. Matthew chapter 16, it says, "The Pharisees and Sadducees demand signs." Excuse me. Problem with doing this at night is that I get very tired very quick. So let's try to keep our energy up for the time being. That way I'm not yawning the whole entire podcast. All right, Matthew chapter 16, verse 1 says, "And the Pharisees and Sadducees came, and to test him, they asked him to show them a sign from heaven. He answered them, 'When it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be stormy today, for the sky is red and threatening. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. An evil and adulterous generation seeks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of Jonah.' So he left them and departed." The leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Even, or even, when the disciples reached the other side, they had forgotten to bring any bread. Jesus said to them, "Watch and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees." And they began discussing it among themselves, saying, "We brought no bread." But Jesus, aware of this, said, "Oh, you of little faith, why are you discussing among yourselves the fact that you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive? Do you not remember the 5 loaves for the 5,000 and how many baskets you gathered? Or the 7 loaves for the 4,000 and how many baskets you gathered? How is it that you fail to understand that I did not speak about bread? Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees." Then they understood that he did not tell them to beware of the leaven of bread, but of the teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Peter confesses. Where is there it is. Sorry about that. I don't know what I just pressed. Peter confesses Jesus as the Christ. Now, when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, who do people say that the Son of Man is? And they said, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said to them, but who do you say that I am? Simon Peter replied, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then he strictly charged the disciples to tell no one that he was the Christ. Jesus foretells his death and resurrection. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke, saying, far be it from you, Lord, this shall never happen to you. But he turned and said to Peter, get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me, for you are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man. Take up your cross and follow Jesus. And then Jesus told his disciples, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul? For the Son of Man is going to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay each person according to what he has done. Truly, I say to you, there are some standing here who will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. And then tomorrow we will go over Matthew chapter 17, which is the transfiguration. Jesus heals a boy with a demon. Jesus again foretells death, resurrection, and the temple tax. All right, so the one thing I wanted to sort of go over here is with the daily Bible verse is to rejoice. The song, the hymn goes, this is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. He will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. He will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. So rejoice, because this is truly the day that the Lord has made. Yesterday was, 10 years ago was, 50 years ago was, 500, 1,000 years ago was, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago was the day that the Lord has made, and so on forth in the future too. So always remember to sing praise and rejoice and be glad that you are living today and tomorrow and the next day, because being given the opportunity to live life as it is a blessing, and you need to rejoice and praise God for that, because he could easily take your life away as easily as he gave you life in the first place. So never take for granted what life is, and please just remember to rejoice and be glad that you are living today under the one true living God. And viewer comments. Dun 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 dun. Mary Furby. you are the one who commented on my last video and the video before and probably before that. Thank you very much for commenting again. She said, "Can you turn up your volume some? I can barely hear you." God bless you, Elijah. Thank you very much. I did remember to do that at the beginning of this episode, so hopefully it is loud enough for you to be able to hear what I'm saying. I know it is pretty hard to hear full volume and everything like that. So, thank you very much for letting me know. And I did turn the volume up. So, let me know if the volume is good for this episode. And for anybody, go ahead, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is completely free, and you can unsubscribe at any time because that is free also. Then if you like and comment, the YouTube algorithm will push this out to other people that like to watch this type of content. So just go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. That would be absolutely wonderful. And let's get into football as we are going to go over the draft plan for the Cleveland Browns. I am going to pull up a draft website. I want to say it's under Pro Football Draft Network. Is it under this? I think it's under this. And we are going to go over the draft right now for the Cleveland Browns and things that we could do. We're going to do mock drafts because I like doing mock drafts and I think they're fun. Let's go over a mock draft here. We're going to select right now. We're going to go with 7 rounds. I'm not familiar with a lot of players, so just bear with me here. I am more into this now than I was before. So just bear with me. We're going to go through this and we're going to go through the fast process. All right, so we're going with the Cleveland Browns. First things first, we need quarterback. And let's hide this for a second. They chose Arvell Reese and Fernando Mendoza. So, as of right now, we have pick 4. And where is the trade offer? Okay, so trade offer, pick 5 and 105 from the Jets. This is barring Dante Moore comes out this draft. So the Jets are probably going to pick a quarterback. I cannot lie. This is very, very tempting considering we're getting pick 105 and we need all the picks that we can get. So let's do a mock draft where Shedeur Sanders is not good. 1. And then the second one is Shedeur Sanders is our guy. So with Shedeur Sanders being not good, we are going to reject because we want to pick a quarterback with our first pick. And the one that's up there right now is Ty Simpson. And lo and behold, Ty Simpson would probably go to the Jets with that next pick. So let's go ahead and choose Ty Simpson, the draft. And then we will go and see what we have. Let's hide this and then see who got taken. Carnell Tate to the Jets. Oh, he went to the Jets. Oh, that's crazy. You wouldn't take a quarterback. You wouldn't take Dante Moore. That's insane. All right, so Dante Moore didn't even get picked yet. Oh, that is so interesting. All right, well, we have our quarterback. Now, corner, yeah, makes sense. Jordan Tyson, yeah. Makai Lemon already got picked. So we're looking Spencer Fano dropped all the way to here? And a kid from Miami. Oh, and Chris Bell got picked. Oh my goodness. The wide receivers are just not looking good. Oh man, we're looking at a slim pickings from here on out. So, with the Browns being who the Browns are, I like KC Conception. We're going to look. We could do that. We are going to reject. We're going to move down 5 picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to move down with the Bills. So we chose Ty Simpson just because I don't want to overpay for KC Conception whenever I can get him 5 picks down, which I'm hoping I can. I have a feeling the Bills might actually take. Let's go down 4 picks. 4 picks with the Bears. Because I have a feeling the Bills are going to take a wide receiver. So we're going to trade from 19 down to 22, and let's try to get 56. Let's see if that'll work. Nope, I figured. Okay. So let's try this again. We're going to go ahead, trade down to 22, and then we'll take their 3rd round pick. Also, no. You're not looking to trade up at all. 22, 87, and we will throw in 151 also. No. Propose. So let's go with 19, 145. We'll get 87 and 22. And we'll even throw in 202. Let's go ahead. Okay, that works. Might overpay just a little bit for that, but that's okay. I'm not moving down all them ways. No, absolutely not. So, O-tackle, tight end. I want a wide receiver 1. And KC Conception might be that guy that you can turn into a wide receiver 1 eventually. So let's go ahead and take him there. I am fine with taking him right there. I really like Omar Cooper from Indiana also. Let's accept this because you're not going to get many. Oh, man. Man, we're moving from down another pick and we're getting 95 and we're giving up 146. Yeah, let's accept that. And then reject those. So 2 positions we don't need. We're down to the Jets. It makes sense. So after our pick, Caden Proctor. Okay. Denzel Boston. Yeah, guard from Penn State. Oh, Igbinosun already went. Dang. Kamari Ramsey. We already got. So at this point, I want an offensive tackle, and I want the best one on the board. So let's go ahead and draft Blake Miller from Clemson. As long as he's a right, I don't know if he's a left or right tackle, but I think that's a good pick. We're gonna draft a guard. Iowa always has good offensive linemen, so we're gonna draft him. And being at 87, going back 1 pick, I don't think will kill us. We need all the draft picks that we can get in this draft. And going back one pick to get another one. Oh, yeah, we're giving up a wide receiver. I'm fine with that. Dang, Omar Cooper already went. Okay, that's all right. Oh, Elijah Surratt. So Surratt will go before the center. So let's go ahead. We're going to take our chance with Lou, and we're going to draft Surratt. And then, oh, we took our chance, and it was taken right after that. So eventually, we're going to need another set of guards. Not much on the center front. I'm hoping in the offseason we take care of some of the offensive line. But Kalen Rutledge, I've heard of him. And Jaden Roberts, he's from Alabama. He's probably pretty good, so we'll take him. Rutledge just went. So we have 2 offensive guards, 2 wide receivers, an offensive tackle, and a quarterback. Right now, we're sitting pretty, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks left. So at this point, if I had to guess, we're not keeping David Njoku. We're not keeping David Njoku. That's what I'm guessing. I will be perfectly fine with drafting at this spot Max Clare out of Ohio State. Dude is a stud tight end. Stud. Man, get 121 and... So we really need to take care of the center. Get a young center. And once again, I mean, you never go wrong with drafting Iowa offensive line. You really don't. This might be a stretch at this point, though. So let's draft another offensive tackle from Florida. And hopefully that center drops a little bit. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. So we drafted 2 O tackles. We drafted 2 offensive guards. We will need a center. And when's our next pick? Oh, that's going to be button up right with it. We're going to propose a trade, and we're going to go back to... We're going to go back to... with the Raiders at 173, and that's a pretty large difference. But I feel like we can get Jake Slaughter at that pick and be perfectly fine. So 151 to 173 and 182, will that work? No, okay. So let's try to trade with them again, and we'll be 151 for 173 and 220. I will take that 100%. Okay, we can still draft Jake Slaughter. And at this point, we have filled out our offense. Legit, we have completely filled out our offense. We don't need a running back unless there's a good one on the board, which I don't think there would be at this point in the draft. We drafted 2 running backs last year, so that's why I'm not concerned with that. At this point, we have wide receivers, which Surratt and Conception, I think, are 2 very good wide receivers from what I'm getting at in college. We got an offensive tackle from Clemson who's supposed to be good. We have an Iowa offensive guard, which are always good. An Alabama offensive guard, which usually always good. Max Clare from Ohio State, who is a stud. He's a transfer in for Purdue. We have Austin Barber, offensive tackle from Florida, so big name school, not bad. We have a center from Florida at Jake Slaughter. And we have our future of our offensive line laid out right here. And Ty Simpson as our quarterback, which I like him. He has a little bit of mobility, so he can move around the pocket very, very well. And also, he's just good at throwing the ball. Like he has a first round grade on him, and getting him at 4 is a win for me, I think. So let's look for anybody else. Ooh, Rod Moore. I've heard of him from Michigan. Michigan's defense is usually pretty good. Christian Gray, Jeremiah Cooper, Malik Muhammad. So we are going to take a chance. I don't know how these guys are. Eventually, we will need another safety, a backup safety. So let's take Rod Moore out of Michigan. Let's look at a slot corner. Oh, we're gonna wait on a slot corner for a second. And we're gonna draft. I don't know anything about any of these guys. We might need a punter. Do we need a punter? Are we gonna... Are we gonna resign the cyborg? I don't know if we will or not. Let's get... We're gonna go ahead and take somebody who could potentially be a slot. 6 foot 195, 5'10", 185, 6 foot 180, 194, 5'11", 194. Okay. 6'1". Okay. We're gonna take... Man, I think I would be taking a risk. That's an undersized edge. Can he move? I mean, edge from Miami, edge from SMU. I have a feeling I don't know, they got a lot of edges. D tackles, we have quite a bit. We got old guys, so we have Malik Collins for another year after this. Let's draft the cornerback out of Stanford. Maybe he'll be our next slot corner. And then... Ooh, between box and deep safety. Maybe he could be our slot corner, potentially. And then we're going to go back to offense. Oh, Jaden Greathouse. Only reason I know him is because of NCAA football. Heard he's not bad, though. Isaiah Horton. 6'3", 205, man. Where's Greathouse? There he is. 6'1", 212. My lord, he is a beast of a receiver. 6'3", 205, though, for Isaiah Horton. We'll draft Isaiah Horton with our last pick here. We have 3 wide receivers, a quarterback, 2 offensive tackles, 2 offensive guards, and center. a tight end, two safeties, a corner. I think that's a pretty successful draft, and that's what that looks like for that part. So let's restart. And that's what it looks like for if, we need a quarterback. If we do not need a quarterback and Shedeur Sanders is our guy, so we probably could look to trade back. They want to trade their 2 first-round picks. Oh boy, that is tempting. Oh, that is so tempting. Oh my gosh. I mean, if you're telling me they're going to give you 12 and 21 and you don't need a quarterback, that's really, really hard to pass up. Because then you got 12, 19, and 21 in the first round. Carnell Tate's going to get taken early. And that's my problem. I'm going to load up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to trade down. They just take Ty Simpson. They just took Cowboys. What are you doing? Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon, Jordan Tate. I figured that's what would happen. I really figured that's exactly what would have happened. Chris Bell has done some pretty outstanding things in college so far this year. So, if we don't need a quarterback, you want to take offensive tackle, and let's go ahead and draft the best one right now. Chris Bell's still there. We're going to take Caden Proctor. We're going to get 2 offensive tackles right off the rip. And then we're going to get Chris Bell from Louisville with the next pick. So we just got our 2 starting offensive tackles for a long time. And then Chris Bell, who can potentially be that wide receiver that could change our luck. And then our next pick is 69. So if I'm looking correctly, we need to grab offensive line right now. And if I'm just going to grab the best one out, I might as well just draft the best one out. Piper, Omar Cooper's still there. So we're going to draft Piper. We're not going to do much trading back in this one. Hopefully, Lou dropped. We have our starting offensive line. Out of this draft, we have our starting offensive line. We have Max Claire's not on here. So we will not draft a tight end, but we will draft. I Isaiah Horton's down there. We'll wait on Isaiah Horton. John Mateer. We will draft. So far, we have two O tackles, two offensive guards, and and a center, and Chris Bell, which takes care of everything that we need out of this offseason alone. And that's just with the draft. Isaiah Horton, I'm going to take later. In case we have our quarterback, we need a backup. I'm going to be honest, Dylan Gabriel's not good. So we'll go with whoever I can pick up here. And that being Mayava or Mateer. I don't want to stick with one of these guys. They had really bad years. Arch Manning ain't coming out this year. Mayava or Mateer. I'm going to stick with dual threat talent. Yeah, I figured. Mayava's 6'4", 230 though, and he has a good arm. 6'1", 219, elite athlete with a rocket arm as all-encompassing angle freedom. I'm gonna take Mateer because I have a feeling I feel like he has better capabilities, and so now we have a backup quarterback for the future. Let's go with defense and we can pair up Kenyatta Jackson. 6'6", 265. Kenyatta Jackson with Myles Garrett would be nasty. Just once again taking care of our defensive line as they're getting older. And just in case we don't re-sign Alex Wright. So we take care of that, and we definitely need a slot corner. 6'2", 200. He thrived as a ball hawk in high school. Improvement in the pedal and weave technique. Okay. What about DJ McKinney? Played across from Travis Hunter. Physical deception stands out on tape, but he's able to control wide receivers and press and squeeze them in a boundary. He's not shy about attacking blocks in the sport phase, getting his head around and playing the ball when trailing receivers, but he has all the raw talent and two-phase gravity, being an early pick. I'm going to stick with DJ McKinney because we need a slot corner. So now we go down to pick 201, and we don't have much left. But we do need a second wide receiver, and that second wide receiver, I ain't gonna lie. If we come down to this spot and we have Nick Harbor, who's 6'5", 235, and runs a 4.2, if we have him sitting there, we're taking him. We better take him. We're going to take two big-time play receivers, dudes that can burn. God, I hope if we take Nick Harbor, that'd be sick. And then we why is CJ Baxter all the way down there? That's crazy. I mean, we don't need like anybody. That's wild. So, what do we got defense? Yeah, Kenyatta, dude, if we get Kenyatta Jackson and then DJ McKinney, man, oh man, we got a draft class, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just say he's a big bodied freaking linebacker. Goodness gracious. I hope he can run. Because, man, oh man, he a big boy. He is a big boy. I would be a 100% fine with this if we were to get. I'm going to take a picture of this because I want to get opinions at work tomorrow. All right. Yeah, if we if we seriously do not need a quarterback and we can get John Mateer in at pick 145 along with your two starting offensive tackles, two offensive guards and an offensive center along with Chris Bell. Chris Bell, by the way, 227 has profile of NFL teams continually fawn over each and every cycle. 227 with 32-inch arms and likely 4.4 speed. Bell brings a tantalizing mix of lean mass, play strength, playmaking range, short area quickness, and long stride explosion for the fold. His physical profile is dominating, and it enables him to contend in one-on-one situations on the vertical plane, as well as accrue rack with speed and contact balance. The physical potential is where the appeal starts with Bell, but there's promising operational utility present on film as well. Bell has shown he can offset DBs with fast feet and efficiency on releases and at stems. He can cut tight angles on breaks for his size, and he is a reliable hands catcher over the middle. A deadly three-level threat in the making, Bell has class-leading upside. That is what I want to hear from a potential wide receiver one on our team. If we can get this draft class right here, I am 100% fine. And you get Nicholas Harbor and then Isaiah Horton in the last part of the rounds, dude, that would be insane. 6'5", 235, 6'3", 205. I mean, you overload it with just size and physical domination. I think this would be the way to go. And then you would just overload your offensive line. I mean, you got two of the best tackles in the draft class. You get one of the best receivers. You get two of the best guards, one of the better centers, um, a potential quarterback. You don't even need to play him really if he doesn't, look good year one or whatever. Kenyatta Jackson is one of the best edges in football right now on the defensive side. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I kind of got a bias on that. But I digress. DJ McKinney, which you read his profile, he's supposed to be pretty good physically as a corner. You probably put him in the slot. Nick Harbor, who's a freak of an athlete. Isaiah Horton, from what I know, he is also a freak of an athlete. And Jimmy Rolder, who is just a big bodied linebacker at 6'2", 240. I don't know how he plays, but man, oh man, if we could get this draft class right here, we are set for the future because our defense is already that good right now. Oh, right, I digress. And so, now, when should Shedeur play? Well, he should play next week. They're already playing Dylan Gabriel this week against the Raiders. You don't want to throw Shedeur in a bad situation unless you absolutely have to. They go on the road to Las Vegas next week. I think that would be the perfect time for Shedeur to have a start. and then to come back home and play the 49ers and then the Titans. That would be a good 3 game stretch, I think, for Shador to play for the Browns. But anyway, I digress, and that is where I will end the podcast off today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in today. I just wanted to end off by saying this prayer here. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And once again, I do pray for you all, and I do love every single one of you who watch this, and everyone out there. I love every single one of you. I'm praying for you all. Rock on, rock out. Peace.